gentlemen, you are more than welcome to this episode 90, we understand, of the Coffee at 11 show. Delighted to have you here and thank you for taking time out to join us. And in particular, I'd like to welcome our very special guest this morning, Angeline Collins Driver, who's zooming all the way in from Donegal with an extremely important message for us all. Angeline, please say hello and cheers us with your coffee cup or mug if you have one.
Hello, everybody.
Lovely, lovely. Before I bring Angeline in, let me just tell you a little bit about this remarkable lady. Her business, or her organization, is not a business, is called Ohana.ie Suicide. She says, we are a team of ordinary individuals from all walks of life, of all ages, that are passionate about making a difference in the numbers of people who take their own life by providing training that empowers people to show they care, asking the appropriate questions in the appropriate language, and then making the call for the help required. We believe that taking action and being proactive is required to change behaviours, and by changing behaviours, we can change culture. She says we have a core team of 16 formed in January 2020. And she says she's worked in the HSE since 1990 as a social care worker with adults with intellectual disabilities, founder of Ohana.ie Suicide. And Ohana means family in Hawaiian. I love this. She says, I loved the tagline. I'm a Disney fan too, by the way, Angeline. She says, I loved the tagline from the Disney film Lilo and Stitch, family where no one is left behind. Isn't that just lovely? Family where no one is left behind. And she says, this really resonated with me. She says she's been a suicide prevention volunteer with Cycle Against Suicide since 2014, and the stories of heartache and devastation she's heard in the last few years has really convinced Angeline that action and responsibility has got to be taken by everyone in every community, in every county, to stop this happening to any other family, mother, father, sister, brother, friend, colleague. We all get into action when something happens. This is really interesting. So what about getting proactive so we can stop it before it happens and avoid the tsunami of grief? And I just think that's such a lovely question. That's one we're going to explore today. She says this training that we are rolling out, which by the way was launched nationally yesterday, provides the tools to know what to say and what to do if you feel someone is in distress. It's free and it takes approximately 20 minutes and it could help to save a life. Proud to say that I took the training very recently because of the intervention of Noelle McAlinden. Noelle, you're very welcome. Lovely to have you here today. But it's a very special privilege to have the lady who kicked it all off, Angeline Collins Driver, with us today. She asks, she says, I asked the question, what is something people don't know about you? And this is where it gets a bit serious. She says, I was sexually abused as a child. I attempted suicide at 14 years. I had my 60th birthday in March, looking well on it. I have an Irish record for powerlifting, deadlift. I love life, and I want people to persevere and to promote and live life passionately. Angeline Collins Driver, that is some introduction. I'm really looking forward to the next section, which we're going to go to in just a moment. Apparently some people's favorite part of the show, apparently. And that is the Princess Shelley piece, right? Where she's going to just tell us what's been going on in the cafe while you and I were having a chat. But before I go there, Angeline, if you don't mind, one last question from me. I'm quite sure there'll be people in the audience who would like to ask a question too or comment. But if I may, COVID hit us all. Somebody said we're all in the same boat, and then somebody else corrected them and said we're not all in the same boat, we're all in the same storm. Some of us are in cruise liners and others are in leaky rowboats, right? But COVID hit us all. So what are you taking with you from COVID that you're not letting go of, that you're grateful for? Please.
Yeah, I suppose the freedom that we had before COVID, you know, both my children are away, and I had, you know, look forward every year to Thanksgiving, because that's where I went. I went to America and it was just fabulous. You know, the whole New York thing, spending time with my son, and my brother actually lives in New York as well. And Perth, we were actually just back from Perth. We'd spent a month in Perth when COVID kicked in last year. So we had a christening out there. My little grandson was born, and their christening was in November. And I really, you know, feel everything is now. Just do it now. Don't wait, because you don't know what's down the line, you know, and that's what I'm taking out of COVID, you know, myself. And I suppose, you know, love the people that you are living with and close to, because you could be put into, you know, confinement with them. And if you don't get on with them, well then, you know, you have to learn. You really have to learn how to adapt to people's behaviours. And, you know, sometimes you can get annoyed with people that things that they do, but, you know, we really have to learn to live with people, and we're all different. We're not all going to, you know, get on all the time, but it's being, you know, being open and compassionate and empathetic, I suppose. And also, you know, one thing that Gandhi said was, don't underestimate yourself, you know, that, you know, just because, you know, how does it go? If you think that you're too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito.